And I'm looking at the chat over there, and I see Jilt asked if they could join. I I don't know if it's intentional that no one can listen, but they may have just been asking if they could listen in.
Hold on 1 second. Um, I'm pretty sure everyone can. I think they're asking if they can speak on the stage.
Got it. I might just DM them just to clarify that, just in case, because I see they left the audience. I'm just going to send a DM.
Okay. Awesome. So it looks like we are now started. So you can take it away.
1 second, be ready to go. All right, and I'm back. Okay, so welcome everyone to Livepeer's Open Ecosystem call for January 2025. My name is Doug Pecanics, one of the co-founders of the Livepeer project, and today we are going to run through a range of topics that update everyone on all the exciting stuff that's been happening in the Livepeer ecosystem and give a little preview of what's the focus for the next couple of months and year ahead as well. Next slide. So before we begin, if you're watching this on a platform outside of the Livepeer Discord, I couldn't recommend more highly that you scan this QR code and join the Livepeer Discord. It's really the central organizing place for the whole Livepeer ecosystem across many of the different teams and entities that build on the network, all of the orchestrators and node operators that run the Livepeer network, many of the users who are building on the Livepeer network, and those inspired by the future of video infrastructure and AI video all collaborate around the Livepeer Discord. It's where you want to be. So it's the best way to get involved, whether you're just getting started or have been you know passively participating in Livepeer for years. Next slide. Okay, so today, what are we going to talk about? I'm going to give a quick introduction of Livepeer really briefly. I'm going to focus on some of the network updates and really high level things that are happening and priorities across the whole Livepeer ecosystem. And then really excited to dive into the details on many of those things, where we'll get some sort of product and engineering updates in terms of what's being built, ecosystem updates in terms of how sort of we're growing and decentralizing the project, updates on what's happening with the Treasury and proposals and public goods funding, and shine a spotlight on some of the community contributions and opportunities in the ecosystem. Next. So, really quick introduction in 30 seconds for those who aren't familiar with Livepeer. Livepeer's mission has been to build the world's open video infrastructure. It's been an important central mission for this project that's sort of guided all our decision making and everything we do and work on for many, many years. Next. The project started in January 2017, so I'm actually, I've been saying recently, and it's kind of mind blowing to me. I'm like, we're entering our ninth year of working on Livepeer. It's been a great journey. We power video streaming across a number of Web 2 and Web 3 applications, social streaming, event streaming, metaverse streaming, but also just traditional broadcast. Next slide. Increasingly, we are moving beyond just end-to-end video streaming and live streaming in looking at how AI is going to impact the future of video and video streaming as well. We're always taking a sort of open access, decentralized public goods perspective to the Livepeer project and infrastructure. Anyone can build what they want on Livepeer. Anyone can help power the network, earn money with their extra compute capacity, and that's mirrored and matched by the types of people and apps building the ecosystem, but also in the way that this whole project is funded. There's currently an on-chain treasury governed by all the Livepeer token holders and community that has over $8.5 million worth of LPT available to fund public goods towards the mission of building the world's open video infrastructure. And there's also a grants program which has been accruing LPT over the years, and has a similarly sized sort of treasury to allocate for funding for public goods initiatives that help advance the project and the mission. So lots of opportunities for everyone to get involved. As I already mentioned, really focused on adding AI video compute capabilities into the Livepeer network. Been a big focus for the past year. And we're going to hear some updates on that front as well. Great. So just to really quickly hit on some of the high level highlights of what's happening in the ecosystem. Next slide. I think in the past, month and a half, it's been a really exciting time. We have, sort of in a alpha version, launched an early version of an AI pipelines project at pipelines.livepeer.org, where you can actually see AI effects applied to live streaming video and people uploading and sharing examples there. Over the holidays, there was a daily challenge competition where people could play with this in our Discord and report bugs and show results. This is very early; it's being iterated on, and real polished product will be released in the coming months. Um, Similarly, a lot of the users that are creating these pipelines are highlighted. Hard to read, but that screenshot on the right just shows some of the outputs of the new AI video pipelines that are being created within the community and a hacker program cohort. This Friday, there's a demo day that's open to our community to watch the outputs of these demos, and I'd encourage people to sign up and join and attend and watch the impressive demos that this really talented group of developers created using a tool called Comfy UI and Comfy Stream to combine AI effects with live streams. So that'll be really inspirational in terms of what's possible in the future. Quick screenshot at the bottom just shows one of the new entities that was funded via the Treasury, the Livepeer Agent SPE. We'll hear a little bit more from them later. That's taking the Livepeer network and integrating it into AI agent frameworks so that we can power inference and increasingly media and video specific queries coming from AI agents in the future. So a lot happening. This is a very high level highlight. Next slide. I think I hit on some of these, but in text form. Um, we released this Pipeline Explorer app in alpha. We ran this hacker program cohort and released Comfy Stream. There's been a number of events, including AI agents, demo night, core dev calls, a Comfy UI community meetup hosted in New York City, um, which is real opportunity for Livepeer to be the leader of real-time streaming video in the Comfy UI ecosystem, which is growing tremendously, one of the most popular ecosystems on all of GitHub. Um, We've also had a number of great community events and activations. We've had, a Treasury talk that had 1,000, Twitter impressions as it was live streamed to Twitter, and a bunch of attendees through Discord. We've had various SPEs or entities proposed either taking active steps to come to life in the forum and Discord, like GovWorks, moving towards a potential proposal. And we've seen the agent SP and the AI video SP actually pass proposals and receive further funding. So a lot of highlights in the past month over a busy holiday period. Next slide. Great. If you look at the usage on the Livepeer network, you see that it's sort of steadily grown bit by bit as we've introduced Livepeer AI. There's a big spike during the main launch when there was some big training runs going on, and it came back down. But then in the past couple of weeks, months, you see it steadily start to tick up through AI inference usage and even the testing that a lot of these SPEs are doing to try and run new models to figure out payments, figure out the scale of the network, figure out pricing on the network. And so, last week I think there was about $7,500 of fees flowing through the network, and we'll look to increase this not little by little, but orders of magnitude through our real time AI bets that the whole community is working on. Next. Uh, Inflation rate and participation rate in the network. Continue to be something that we need to keep an eye on. I think the participation rate, that's how much Livepeer token is staked, has grown a bit in the past month. We're up to 43.9% today, actually. The target is 50%. And so because we're below that target, it means inflation continues to tick up. We're over 25% annual inflation on the network. And because that gets split only to the 43% of people who are staking their tokens and participating, it means the sort of annual accrual of tokens for an individual who's staking is over 55% at the moment. That's quite high. Something we need to keep an eye on. I'm certainly doing some modeling and talking with people about, hey, should there be governance proposals or actions to maybe rein in and get this inflation within a range that's maybe less concerning to the general market. I think that'll be a big discussion, maybe with some governance proposals in the coming month or so. Next slide. Great. Just a reminder, um, sort of the era that we're in is codenamed Livepeer Cascade, and the submission of this era for Livepeer is to build the world's leading real-time AI video pipeline platform and community. Big opportunity for Livepeer. Next slide. It's an opportunity because, like, the way that AI impacts live video is going to be a tremendously fast-growing area that's very well suited to Livepeer's strengths with our global end-to-end live streaming stack and software and expertise, and our node operator base. And it's an opportunity where we can be a leader, unlike some of the more crowded, more established spaces like LLM inference or image generation, where anyone can do that with any GPU. And there's many inference providers that raise billions of dollars and build out huge data centers to do that. Very few of those have actual live streaming software and end-to-end global stacks that can speak all the video protocols, that can handle the video aspects of AI and do it in real time at low latency. And so Live here definitely has a big opportunity to be a leader on that front instead of just a competitive follower. If we're a leader, then we can create a network effect because all of these real-time pipelines that are being developed, if they are deployed to the Livepeer network, if they run the Livepeer network, they can be composed together. All these custom node types in Comfy UI can be used with other workflows. And if that all runs on Livepeer, it means people will want to come to Livepeer to do it when it comes to live video. And then they'll add new capabilities to the Livepeer network, and that'll make the network more useful. And it won't be so easy just to take and recreate that on any generic inference provider that doesn't have all the composable real-time workflows deployed and running live on an infrastructure network like our orchestrator network has. So network effect is a big opportunity. And lastly, why are we doing this? These are compute heavy jobs that run over long running streams. That means they do cost money, and that can grow fees on the network, and that's what everyone wants. That's evidence of the real utility of the network being serving actual demand. And so we want to see these bets 10x, 100x the fees on the Livepeer network and really lead to breakout fit and growth. Next slide. Quick timeline. I'm not going to spend a long time on this, but this is just a cool snapshot of the history of the phases of the Livepeer network. We've come a long way since 2017 or so, and we're currently at this cascade phase, towards the closer to the right side of this roadmap. I think, finding fit, finding growth, and succeeding with our decentralization and real-time video, along with all the great work that's going on with the treasury and the SPs, mean that we are moving towards, full decentralization, many different entities building different things on the Livepeer ecosystem, pushing them forward, ultimately to this end phase, codenamed Ocean in the future, which is sort of ultimate Livepeer success. Livepeer is video. It is many different things to many different builders, and it's sort of this unstoppable infrastructure layer powering the future of video. So, a fun glimpse at where we've come and the future here. Next slide. Zooming in just a little bit to some of the Q1 focuses. Um, this week, I think Friday, I encourage people to attend the demo day for the pipeline developer program, see all the real-time AI workflows that are being built. Um, I think when you look at this quarter, what are some of the goals? I think this gets a little into the details. We'll hear more about product, but we want to get the Comfy Stream developer experience really great, so pipeline developers can create and experiment with great workflows. We're running alphas of this showcase app for this cohort and for our community, so we can play with all these real-time workflows and see the outputs and share the outputs. And I know the agent SP and community is running hard at these AI agent integrations with Eliza, a hosted public gateway that can support agent requests, and excited to see where that goes. I think as we enter Q2, let's think about like a launch for the product that's being built, with a good developer experience, a hosted platform for using real-time AI streams, and maybe more public launch of the showcase app. All this is in service of fit. We're going to iterate quickly based on what's responding with users and resonating with users, and keep moving fast to meet user needs in this space. Next. And quickly, just sharing some of the goals that sort of the teams that I'm focused on are really running right now. We really want to grow like the weekly active AI builders participating in Discord. And AI builders, it's subjective. Anyone can get that tag if they're participating in the building or the using or the testing or the running or even just the discussion around AI video. And if we are the leading community and this is where all that discussion is happening, that means that Livepeer will succeed. It'll attract more users, more stuff will get built, and it'll all run the Livepeer network. So big potential. We also want a lot of people to learn about real-time AI video and complete the educational programs that are being developed, submit pipelines through these cohort programs and into the Showcase app. So we have some metric goals around that. A lot of that comes through top of the funnel events, these virtual events that we hold online, IRL events um, around the world. So we have some goals in terms of how many people are being exposed to these real-time AI video capabilities. And then, goal 4 here is more around decentralization. Let's try and get 10 SPE proposals passed. I think we already have 2 or 3, and maybe 3 or 4 more in the hopper, to really decentralize and allocate all these resources from the treasury into different contributor groups, helping to build this future. Last goal I alluded to before, I think getting the inflation rate on Livepeer trending back down towards a healthier annual range. It's probably good for the sustainability of the protocol, and look for some like discussion and governance work around that as well, which I'm going to be focused on. Great. Next slide. Yep. So I think that's it for me. I will hand it over for product updates. But if anyone has questions, they can drop it in the chat, or I'll stick around on the call for later. Thanks all.
As we switch over, I can. Not sure if you wanted to share your screen, Eric, or if you want to just go with.
Yeah,
either.
I can go with this. I'll just ask you to flip for me.
Okay. Just say next.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to give a quick update around on the product side, and both in terms of what we've been building and how we have been building, creating a community around this. Like Doug alluded to earlier, the goal here is not only to build a leading product, but to build the leading for the community to form around. So that's what we're building. But both of those things are really important. So next slide. Before I get into the real-time video side, video AI side, I would just want to share there's the existing video transcoding and video streaming product continues to be very steady, right? This is this chart shows kind of the number of minutes that are transcoded on a network on a monthly basis. There's a little bit of seasonality that that goes towards at the end of the year. Usually, what we see in October and November, there's a bit of a bump, and then it comes back down a little bit. So I'd say our users continue to be happy with the service. So all of that is good. Next slide. And so now getting into the new product, the real-time video AI product. What are we building? There are a couple of use cases that we're thinking of, but mainly is really about adding AI capabilities to live video use cases and live video workflows, right? So that's both for kind of a broadcasting one-to-many use case, as well as video chats, many-to-many use cases. And this is there's a lot of potential out there, because 80% of the internet is video as we know it, and we have this strong conviction that a lot of that 80% of the video will be disrupted by AI. So the kind of the 3 areas that we've been looking at are like the way that we categorize this market is by real-time video content creation, AI for real-time communication. So second one is more about kind of video conferencing and adding AI agents in there. And thirdly, real-time video understanding, right? So think about that as like computer vision and being able to understand what's happening through a camera's lens in real time and be able to take action based off of that. Next slide. If we look, take a step back and look at what we've been doing in the last quarter. We've essentially built a whole new product within 3 months, and really, I think this is hats off to the team who's really been stellar in running at this quickly and being able to being able to pull this off, because I don't think a lot of teams will be able to do this. In September, we started with planning. In October, we did the engineering kickoff, started building this product. It only took 2 months for us to release the first beta, and also to kick off the first hacker program, cohort number 1. And that kind of program ran through over the holidays. That actually just finished. And we're going to take the learnings from that to do a much bigger program in February. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, we'll be running regular workflow competition in Discord, and all through this time iterating and improving the product until around April time, where we'll do a much bigger public launch. If we look at the goal of building the leading community for real-time video AI, there's really 3 components. We're currently focused on the first component, which is building a community of workflow developers that create and deploy AI workflows on the Livepeer network, which then will attract more workflow developers and also attract application developers. And later we'll see some of the examples of these workflows that people have already built. The second group is the application developers, which we'll start to focus on, let's say, towards the end of this quarter, or at the beginning of Q2, and that's really about the application, helping the application developers build interesting and novel new AI applications using these real-time video AI workflows, and that will attract users, and of course, when the consumers are using these apps, it'll start generate fees at scale on the network. So with that, we made a pretty intentional decision to focus in this community called Comfy UI. So just a little bit of a background of this community. Comfy UI is the #1 open source AI community in the world right now. In this chart, what you see is the number of GitHub stars, and you see that Comfy UI kind of started out as a power user tool for Stable Diffusion. And you see kind of the popularity of this project surpassed Stable Diffusion at about midpoint last year and continued to grow. And recently, it's even surpassed the popularity of Llama, which is the most popular open source LLM model. So that just gives you kind of idea of how popular this tool is, and this community is. Our strategy here is that we will be the first one to add real-time video capabilities into Comfy UI, because currently Comfy UI, you can only do kind of image and video generation asynchronously. By doing that, we get to expand into this community, and over time, we'll be able to expand also to adjacent communities through native integrations with Comfy UI, and through the native integrations that Comfy UI already has with other tools as well. Next slide. What does Comfy UI look like? This is the interface. It's basically a graph-based workflow engine for building complex AI systems with no code, right? And this is kind of the interesting part, which is you don't need to be a programmer to be able to create some really intricate and interesting AI workflows. And this is actually a backend. Comfy UI is a backend inference engine for many of the leading consumer applications today, where the core kind of the unique AI capabilities in these apps are actually powered by Comfy UI. Next slide. For us, so this is a little bit of what Comfy Stream looks like, right? So you see what I'm doing is I'm using my webcam and typing prompts on the bottom left, and the AI is able to kind of recognize my prompt really quickly and do a style transfer in real time based on my camera. And this is kind of a new capability that we've introduced to the Comfy UI ecosystem. It makes it really easy for developers to experiment with and add real-time video AI workflows, combining different AI capabilities, different AI models. And of course, we're also building the hosted inference service for scaled usage, and that's where the fee from the network will come from. Next slide. So like on a very high level, the product kind of has these promises. You can use Comfy UI to create pipelines with no code. You can deploy those workflows to the Livepeer network and run at that scale. You can get comprehensive performance metrics and usage reports for your workflows and automatically scale on really affordable GPUs. We've already made really good progress in building this real-time video AI community in Livepeer. What we've done, we've gathered the interest from top researchers that are in this field, at the intersection of real-time video and AI. We've done workshops with these researchers from UC Berkeley, CMU, UT Austin, and this community is also the Comfy UI community is also starting to notice Livepeer just in the past, in the short span of a couple of months. We were invited to go present at their very first community event in San Francisco. That's tomorrow. So I'll be going there. If you are also based in San Francisco, you should come and check it out. I'll be bringing a demo rig and showing off some cool new features that we've built. We've also established the Comfy UI New York City community. So if you are based in New York City, definitely come to our monthly meetup. We'll be doing more events here. We will be going to Denver with AI Tinkerers, which is a kind of a multinational AI community. We'll be hosting an event on the 24th. If you're at East Denver, you can scan this QR code and register. And also there will be kind of ongoing workflow study groups and workflow competitions that are all in the Livepeer Discord. Next slide. So Doug talked a little bit about the Comfy UI hacker program that we did over the holidays. I want to just give a couple highlights here. I think the high level is that this hacker program has been overwhelmingly successful. We had over 100 applicants apply. We had 23. We kind of spoke with a number of them, picked 23 people as the participants. Out of that, 13 projects were submitted. They were all interesting in their own ways. And through this period, we learned a lot about the product and improved the product by leaps and bounds. And so we have a demo day this Friday. So definitely come and check out some of the workflows that people have done. That's it for me.
Thank you, Eric. Rich, you're up.
Awesome. Quick mic check. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Fantastic. Thank you, Eric and Doug. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rich, and I lead ecosystem ops and internal ops at Livepeer. I'm going to give you a quick heads up on what we've been doing funding-wise, both with the on-chain treasury and also thinking about the grants program that we have been running over the last couple of years and where we're looking to go next. So to kick things off, the Livepeer community treasury is really building momentum. We've obviously entered this very exciting time, as Doug and Eric have been saying, around new innovation with real-time video AI. And in year one, from the inception of the on-chain treasury at the end of 2023, there was real experimentation on the network, and we had a few larger SPEs, these special purpose entities that are funded directly from the on-chain treasury. These were larger SPEs, and they usually were looking at between 3 to 6 months funding. Now going into year two of this experiment for Livepeer, we have this awesome opportunity where we have over 650k LPT in the current treasury, and we're now seeing a number of newer, smaller experiments, also shorter term and very mission driven SPEs. So Doug mentioned the agent SPE that we're going to hear from in a bit. But we also had the latest tranche of funding for the AI SPE, leading a lot of the network development. And we are now in this exciting time where we have over 6 active pre-proposals currently on the Livepeer forum. And we are entering a stage of these shorter, smaller term SPEs that are looking for funding for 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and really looking at adding new capabilities to the network. And what's very cool at the minute is that we're seeing these new SPEs, these new special purpose entities, arising from both a combination of existing grantees, core contributors to Livepeer network who have been around for years and years, contributing, and then finally, most importantly, the orchestrators who are obviously providing the compute power to the network. So a really exciting time, and as Noma from GovWorks will be telling you about, there's also some exciting developments of how we're looking at governing the on-chain treasury as a community, who and looking to have GovWorks really lead a lot of the processes around supporting SPEs, facilitating new ones, inspiring the community, and obviously getting accountability. Next slide. And then, just as a community treasury is moving to a new chapter, so is our focus for grants funding. The Livepeer grants node currently has over 7.5 million USD, which ultimately can be in LPT, which ultimately we've been looking to distribute over the next year and beyond, to ensure that we're really fueling innovation in the real-time video AI space. In 2024, the grants programs across the board funded grantees with over 1 million USD in LPT in funding, including 10 startups on a new startup program, and looking at 100 plus hackers in our hackathon Run Within Code. And as you've already heard multiple times, we had an exciting first iteration of the hacker program with 15 plus AI video hackers tinkering with Comfy UI and our new Comfy Stream workflow that we're working with. In 2025, we're really trying to shift our focus from purely or primarily focused on video and batch-based AI video to as the rest of Livepeer, or a lot of Livepeer Inc. is looking to focus on real-time video AI, and looking to expand out, first of all, the number of hackers building pipelines, building workflows on the network, and then looking to support a number of startups that are then looking to integrate these workflows into applications. So I would say, if you're building with Comfy UI, or you're interested in getting involved with Livepeer AI, I would reach out to either myself or to N, who you're going to hear from next, and to make sure that you apply for grants funding, and also to watch the space, because in the next month we will be revamping a lot of the grants programs and distributing that out to look at new funding opportunities for builders in the space. Next slide, and over to N.
Hello, everyone. Anne here, head of community at Livepeer. So first, just want to talk about the Livepeer Discord really quickly. I stepped into the head of community role in late December. I was doing light community management prior to that as well. So I've been working on the community strategy, and good news. We're seeing a consistent level of visitation and communication in the server, as well as Discord viewership, and with an increase of about almost 40%. That increase means, those who are actually, viewing the Discord and are not considered inactive or prunable users. So that's a massive win. We're basically almost have doubled the attention on Livepeer and the community that we're building here, which is really great. Next up, the Livepeer community-led Telegram. So you see here Alvin, who's been a longtime member of the Livepeer community, now is the Telegram community lead. And the Telegram, when I got in, there was a lot of spam. It was kind of not super functional. However, under the leadership of Alvin, the Telegram is rebounding from lows. We're seeing an increase across the board from the number of members posting, the number of members viewing, as well as the total increase in that community. So for folks who are especially more Web3 centered, as Inc. focuses on real-time video AI, that is a place for you to discuss how we become more prominent within the Web3 community and what tactics and strategies we can use there. And of course, Alvin is your go-to person to connect. So that's super exciting and super happy to have Alvin leading over there. Next, as the community continues to grow, we're starting to have more consistent cadence to have people tap into the various things going on within our ecosystem. And on the right-hand side, you see the Luma event calendar. So you can scan that and you'll see all these events. But just going over, we have a number of weekly events. The first is a long time one, which is the weekly water cooler with Titan. I think Titan's in the audience. Hey, Titan. So that's every Monday. We're also doing the Comfy Share and Study, which is every Tuesday, and that will be centered on real-time video AI builders and sharing basically your learnings, any bugs you're finding, any problems you're running into with your workflows, and that will be every Tuesday for you to jump in and connect, especially with the AI SBE, who are contributing a lot of resources to this effort. Next is every Wednesday, we'll have a GovWorks event that either Treasury Talk or other workshops in our server that will basically go over what is an SP? How do I create an SP? What are the missing pieces that SPs can fill in that the Inc. isn't able to do or that the community wants, right? We want to really encourage people to take up leadership there and drive Livepeer into the future. Finally, on X/Twitter, we'll be doing What's New at Livepeer, and that will be led by myself and Carlotta, and as well as other folks in the community who join. And that will be just an overview to increase our top of funnel engagement, and that is again Wednesday. As for monthly events, we have the Comfy UI NYC meetup, and that's every month. When it is changes, but it is every month. And of course, those who are in New York at the Livepeer team go, as well as those from the Comfy UI community go, and of course, Livepeer community members. Next is the core dev call. That's the first and third Thursday of each month. And that is basically where Shilin, who's leading a lot of the product initiative here at Livepeer, as well as Hunter, who's the head of product. They both will join there. I'll be there as well. And we're going to basically talk about core developers, where we are, where we need to go, what issues we're running into, how to foster a collaborative spirit within our developer ecosystem. Next is this call, Open Ecosystem. So you're already here. Welcome. That's the fourth Wednesday of each month. And then finally is the orchestrator call, which is led by Rick, who is leading up the ASP. And that basically is just for updating our orchestrator community on changes and also getting feedback from them. And that's the fourth Thursday of each month. And here you can just see some images of the events that we have coming up. Finally, we have the hacker program, which you've heard many times throughout today. You have the QR code to join an RCP at the Luma, and that's Friday, 12 p.m. EST. And I was running the program with Ryan and Eric, and I just need to say that there's some really incredible stuff, and definitely you don't want to miss it. I think this is going to really show people how exciting what Livepeer is doing right now. We've been talking and you've seen some, pieces of it, but this is really going to show, users jumping in Comfy UI, using Comfy Stream, and showing the potential and the awesomeness of real-time video AI. So I will pass it over to Noma, who will give the Treasury updates. Noma, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on here. Just jumping in to give a couple updates on the Treasury and especially how GovWorks is funding resources in the Livepeer ecosystem. A quick intro, if you don't know me, I am Noma from GovWorks, currently chairing GovWorks. GovWorks is the entity that is supporting the sustainable allocation of Livepeer's on-chain Treasury, collaborating with the community to do that. And we have been engaging with the Livepeer ecosystem for the past couple months, since October of 2024, so Q4, and have made some really good progress since then that I'd love to catch you up on. So next slide, please. Yeah, GovWorks has been supporting SPEs from A to Z. There's a whole ecosystem of SPEs forming. We have, in the past couple months, been able to support the creation of pre-proposals, so providing this end-to-end assistance for folks looking to form SPEs and just support the innovation that has been proliferating within the ecosystem. We launched a governance hub. So the Governance Hub is a centralized platform that is offering transparency dashboards on SB activity, as you can see on the right-hand side of this slide. It has tools for contributors. It details the governance process. So we really spend a lot of time taking stock on what's happening in the Livepeer ecosystem and thinking about processes to facilitate that without too much bureaucracy. And by doing this, we've been able to streamline a lot of these processes. So developing and implementing a framework for requests for SPEs, pre-proposals, and then SP proposals that are being pushed to the on-chain voting portal. And this really has allowed contributors to navigate the governance process more efficiently and also bringing a sense of predictability to treasury allocation as well. We also, on the transparency piece, came up with a contribution efficiency framework, which is an accountability system for SPEs to balance transparency with this, goal of having minimal bureaucracy to ensure alignment with goals, overarching goals in the ecosystem. So I'm actually just going to drop a link to this in the chat that you can click and view what this governance hub looks like so far. And of course, welcoming input from everyone here. And there's a lot of activity that's been brewing. So we currently have 2 new pre-proposals that have been approved on chain this year. So that is the 3rd tranche of funding for the AI SPE and the first proposal from the agent SPE. So super exciting, and congrats to the leads of those. The AI SPE has been working in the ecosystem for quite some time and has shared detailed updates in the forum that you can check out. And then the 3 proposals that are currently in discussion on the Livepeer forum. One is funding for open source video software led by Jason that has the Everest node. We also have the 24-hour live stream proposal from the Refraction team, really trying to connect the tech being built around real-time video to the cultural component, the use cases that actually get these in the market, and help people see the value of these things that are being built. And then finally, we have a couple more in the forum, and also in draft phase, we have the video transcoding SPE that is being proposed by the Mist server team. They've been longtime contributors in the Livepeer ecosystem. We identified a gap and are proposing an SPE to fill that gap to maintain the transcoding pipeline. Recently, Doug also posted ideas around a protocol security SPE that's still live in the forum, and looking for capable leads within the community to take this and run with it. And our role as GovWorks is really just to provide support, unblock you where you might have blockers, inspire the sort of empowerment of the community to really take charge of these aspects in the ecosystem. Next slide, please. One of the key things that we are working on right now, and our mandate for Q1, the more immediate timeline, is to pass a GovWorks SPE. So you can think of the GovWorks SPE as like a meta SPE for all the SPEs. So really just supporting that the decentralized management of SPEs and providing governance oversight, treasury stewardship, supporting the ongoing aspects of SPEs and being that first point of contact. So we've been working with Anne and Carlotta on the top of funnel to really make sure that there's a lot of visibility into what's happening in the ecosystem. And then the mid and bottom funnel, really just having, support avenues for people to go to. So if you're trying to start a new SPE, there's places for you to go. We're supporting you through the process of drafting your proposal, giving feedback, connecting you with folks within the ecosystem that can also really provide valuable feedback to shape that pre-proposal, to get it ready for voting. And then if you're looking to contribute to an existing SPE, there's also a bounty board that should be the first point of contact for folks who might not want to start their own SPE, but are looking to contribute to something that is already ongoing, and they can receive funding from there. So through this GovWorks SPE, we really, are looking to formalize a lot of the work that we've been doing so far. We will be issuing community reports, continuing to engage in governance, educating on best practices. We are hosting Treasury Talks now alongside N, and just continuously maintaining the documentation and so on, having presence in other calls like the water cooler chat, just to keep the ecosystem abreast of everything that we're working on. So thank you very much for your collaboration so far, and looking forward to what's to come.
Amazing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling very hype. We're shipping, as someone said in chat. Define, you're up next with the community spotlight. Come on up, unmute, and just say next when you want me to move on to the next slide.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Oh, okay. Hello, guys. My name is Defined, and I'm here to present you today with the agent SPE and its mission. Next slide, please. So the agent SPE was introduced to empower Livepeer with the help of AI agents. Next slide. Next slide.
Define, I think your audio is breaking up.
Okay, so this presentation is gonna talk about what is the mission and the objectives of the agent's path, and
Define, I'm not sure, but your audio is crackling a lot. You might want to, I'm not sure if you could switch to a different Wi-Fi or drop down and I'll bring you back up. Okay, apologies for the technical difficulties, folks. Give us 1 second. Discord always curses us with one problem or another. Okay, let's see if you jump back in.
can you hear me better now?
Yes, much better. Okay, continue.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So the presentation is going to talk about the mission and the objectives of TSP, then to introduce the team, and after that we're going to talk about what is complete already and what the future roadmap is looking like. Next slide. So our core mission is to integrate live inference to as many agentic to prominent agentic frameworks such as ELIZA and Virtuals. And by doing that, we can create revenue for the orchestrator. So it's pretty simple why. Now, a very core aim um, for our objectives is to actually help Livepeer capitalize the agentic streaming market, which we believe that will be huge, and it's currently an emerging market. And of course, a very important thing is the education of the developers that will are using and will use the tools that we creating in the future. Next slide. So Titan, which is a very prominent orchestrator, hosts the water cooler chat, is the leader of the team. On the education side, we have Phoenix and Mayor. Phoenix is very good at developing relations with developers and advertising our applications to developers. Then Mayor is specializing on organizing and running Twitter spaces and those kind of events, and he has a reach on Twitter as well. And I'm Define, I'm the software engineer of the team, so I'm responsible for the design and implementation of the engineering tasks. Next slide. So already we have been able to implement LLM, which is text-based inference, what we get from ChatGPT and similar models, and image inference to the live ecosystem. The image inference is live on the main branch. The LLM inference will be live on the immediate update. Next slide. But what we're creating right now is what really matters, in our opinion. So our roadmap, it's actually pretty simple. It's create a killer framework, then launch a extremely useful POC application for that framework, then integrate for commercial scale and evaluate and then create a new roadmap. So what we do is we actually create the VTuber framework, which it's we believe that if you think that streamers right now are not agents, and many, if not most, of the streamers in the future will be just agents without human intervention, we believe that this will bring Livepeer on the through to realize like its true potential financially in synergy with the AI real-time pipelines. So the VTuber is being built completely in Comfy as a Comfy UI workflow, and it will work with the Livepeer's Comfy Stream open source framework, and we believe that it will bring great value, which we want to create a very polished and nice launch for the live streaming, so that we can showcase to people that okay, we have the technology and this is what you can do with the VTuber technology. You can launch agents like that and you can have them autonomously running streams and communicating with their audience with zero human intervention. And after we have that, we want to integrate our framework to as many agentic frameworks as possible. So the main target here is Eliza, and we can then move to virtuals if they are the correct partner for that, and other important frameworks, even AutoGen, for example. So, and after that, we're very in favor of short-term roadmaps. This is something that we approximate to take about 2 to 3 months maximum for all those the three elements that we discussed, and then we will evaluate this rapidly changing market, and we say we have those opportunities, we want to proceed in that way. So yes, nothing too far-fetched, nothing 6 months ahead. We just have a very assorted targets, then we reevaluate and continue with the next roadmap. Next slide. So the financial motivation of selecting the VTuber market was that the current streaming market is more than 80 billion right now, and it's projected to reach the I can't see the number to reach 605 billion by 2033. Now, I do believe that the writer of the articles that we saw and the papers that we saw were meaning AI augmented live stream because it was produced earlier on the 2024. But actually, if you think about, if you think that streamer agents will be 24/7, will continuously become better, their inference model that power them will continuously also become better, then I do believe that the actual number can be even greater, and not forget about periphery, all those periphery activities and that streamers are able to do, for example, merchandise, which will also be extremely lucrative markets. So by enabling Livepeer to capture that market, being the first and the being the first player on that field, we do believe that it will bring huge economic value for the orchestrators and the ecosystem in as a whole. Next slide, please. Thank you so much for watching.
Amazing, Define. I'm very excited. The Agent SP has a ton of community heavy hitters, and we're so happy to have you, Define, as well with your technical prowess. And just a note, we will be launching Livy, an AI agent built on Livepeer's network, today or tomorrow. So jump into our Discord. You can always chat with Livy and see things work in real time. Thanks, Define. Up
Thank you,
next,
guys.
we have open job and opportunity. I think this is Mariana. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Quick mic check. Next slide, please. So for everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Mariana. I'm the people lead at Livepeer, and I just want to take a couple of moments to kind of talk to you about some of the amazing roles that we're currently hiring for here at Livepeer as we continue to grow our team. Well, first, we're looking for an ecosystem operations manager to streamline our internal processes, manage grants, and optimize workflows using tools like Airtable and HubSpot. This role is perfect for someone who thrives on efficiency and structure. Next, we have an opening for a growth marketing lead, a creative strategist, a storyteller, someone who can craft compelling narratives, engage developers, and grow our brand presence across digital channels. We're also hiring for a senior developer advocate who will help developers unlock Livepeer AI capabilities by creating proof of concept projects, running workshops, and driving technical education. On the design side, we need a senior product designer who will lead the UX for Livepeer for our AI video platforms, making complex workflows seamless and intuitive. And finally, we're looking for a senior front-end engineer to design and build a user-friendly interface for Livepeer AI developer tools and products. If any of those roles sounds really exciting to you, or you know someone that will be a really good fit, you can find more information on the website and also how to apply. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mariana. Also, just some notes: the growth marketing lead and the senior developer advocate will be collaborating with me on something. So if you think I'm super fun, come work with me. Next up, we have any Q&A. I will leave it on the join our community slide so people can scan the QR code and jump into the community. But I'll throw it back over to Doug in case you have some closing words for us. But if not, we're going to wrap up in a minute.
Well, thanks everyone for attending. I see a lot of great discussion going on in the chat around excitement around these agent initiatives, and great presentation from Define highlighting some of the upcoming VTuber and AI video impacts in that ecosystem. You know, echoing one thing from before, I really do encourage everyone to attend the demo day on Friday and see some of these real-time AI workflows that hackers have been building for the last month or so. It'll be really inspirational and really shine a spotlight on all that's to come in the Livepeer ecosystem this year. So thanks all for joining. You can find us in the Discord anytime, and we'll be back with the next summary call a month from now. See y'all soon.
Amazing. Have a good rest of your day. And the other thing I'll say is later today, we're going to be having the What's New at Livepeer. I mean, you kind of seen What's New at Livepeer, but if you want to connect, chat, and ask any questions about what we saw today, Carlotta and I will be starting that Twitter space in a few hours. So thank you all, and until next time.